Elena stands unmoving, her eyes locked on the leaders, her expression unwavering. There is no sign of panic, no uncertainty. She knows exactly what she's doing. The council may laugh, they may mock, but deep down, they feel the growing unease. They have underestimated Earth, and it's about to become their greatest mistake. One of the council members, a towering alien with glowing eyes, finally speaks. "Show us, then. Show us the power of humanity." His voice is filled with a challenge, but also, perhaps, a hint of concern. Elena's lips curl into the faintest of smiles. The message has been received. Earth's time has come, and the Galactic Council is about to learn just how wrong they were. In that moment, the first signs of what's to come ripple through the room, unseen, unheard, but undeniable. The Galactic Council members sit back, their smug expressions filled with anticipation as they prepare to witness what they believe will be an embarrassing display of Earth's technology. They are convinced that this will be no more than a pathetic attempt to impress them. After all, humans are nothing more than primitive creatures struggling to survive on a hostile planet. Their technology is outdated, their knowledge limited. Elena, however, is calm. Unfazed by the alien onlookers, she walks to the center of the council chamber. All she carries with her is a small device, a sleek, black cylinder that looks no different from a simple piece of high-tech equipment. The device, however, is far more powerful than anything the council could imagine. It is linked directly to her mind, a tool that allows her to tap into her incredible psionic abilities. The council falls silent as Elena closes her eyes, focusing deeply. She takes a breath, and for a moment, nothing happens. The chamber is still, and the air hums with the quiet anticipation of the onlookers. Then, without warning, small objects around the room begin to levitate. A paperweight. A cup of water. At first, the council members scoff, believing this is all there is. "Pathetic," one alien whispers, "just tricks." The laughter begins again, but it's quieter now, less certain. Elena's telekinetic powers are impressive, but not enough to warrant real concern. But then, Elena takes the demonstration to another level. She extends her mind further, and the air itself begins to shift. Light bends around her as she manipulates it, creating holographic images that spring to life in the room. A swirling, twisting vortex of energy forms before them, an artificial storm. It crackles with raw energy, swirling around the chamber, flashing with electric blue and violet lights. The holograms interact with the room in ways the council has never seen before. They appear to touch, move, and even change the atmosphere of the chamber. The images take shape, creating visual illusions of distant worlds and strange alien landscapes. The aliens, who have seen the most advanced technologies in the galaxy, are now wide-eyed with confusion and awe. The storm inside the chamber intensifies, swirling with a life of its own. The temperature in the room drops sharply. Cold winds rush through the chamber, and the aliens shiver. The storm, a perfect combination of light, energy, and telekinesis, whips around them with such intensity that their bodies involuntarily react. The smugness is gone now. The aliens exchange nervous glances. Their laughter has stopped, replaced by an uncomfortable silence. They feel the cold, the energy, and the unsettling reality that they are witnessing something far beyond their understanding. "This is impossible," one of the council members murmurs under their breath. The tension in the room thickens. For the first time, they wonder, is this just the beginning? What else does this human have in store for them? Elena's calm, unwavering presence contrasts sharply with the growing anxiety of the council. She stands at the center, a figure of quiet power, controlling the storm with nothing more than the power of her mind. The council's greatest weapons, their most advanced technologies, all seem insignificant compared to the raw force of a human mind. The silence in the room deepens. Elena opens her eyes, and with a simple gesture, the storm vanishes. The temperature normalizes, the holograms fade, and the chamber returns to its previous state. But the damage has been done. The council is no longer laughing. They are now fully aware that humanity is far more dangerous than they ever imagined.
Hidden among the ranks of the council, a rogue faction of the Kretok Empire is plotting. The Kretoks are a warlike species, known for their ruthless pursuit of power and their fear of anything that could destabilize their control over the galaxy. They have long seen humanity as a potential threat, but now, with Elena's psionic powers on display, they see a danger unlike any they've faced before. The Kretok faction knows that if humans are allowed to rise, they could upset the delicate balance of power that has existed for centuries. They must act, and they must act quickly. In the midst of the growing tension, an assassin from the Kretok faction, disguised as a council guard, moves silently through the chamber. His mission is simple: kill Elena before she can unleash more of her power. He pulls a small device from his cloak, a neural disruptor designed to paralyze and kill with pinpoint accuracy. The weapon is quick, silent, and deadly. He takes aim, his finger hovering over the trigger. But just as the assassin makes his move, Elena's psychic senses explode into action. Her mind, ever watchful, feels the subtle shift in the room, a disturbance in the air. She focuses, and in an instant, her powers intercept the attack. The neural disruptor's beam, which should have struck Elena in a lethal hit, is stopped mid-air. The weapon fizzles and discharges harmlessly into the floor as Elena's psychic barrier pulses outward, redirecting the attack before it even reaches her. The assassin's face twists in shock as he's suddenly frozen in place. Elena's mind locks onto his, paralyzing him with ease. His body stiffens, and he drops the disruptor, his eyes wide with fear and disbelief. He never stood a chance against Elena's power. The chamber erupts in chaos. The council members scramble for safety as confusion spreads like wildfire. Some believe the attack was orchestrated by humans to further intimidate the council, while others fear it's a sign of the deeper threat humanity poses. The Kretok faction, realizing their assassin has failed, jumps into action, accusing the humans of manipulating the council for their own purposes. Shouts fill the room. The air is thick with accusations, panic, and anger. Some council members demand immediate action, suggesting that the humans be removed from the station before more violence occurs. Others, realizing the full scope of Elena's abilities, are torn between fear and awe. The tension in the room is palpable. But Elena remains calm. She doesn't flinch or move. Her eyes scan the room with quiet confidence, her mind working furiously to assess the shifting dynamics. She's fully aware of the alliances forming in the background, of the eyes that are no longer looking at her with disdain, but with fear. The Kretok faction is already plotting their next move, and Elena knows that this is just the beginning. The galaxy is on the brink of something new, and the balance of power has shifted. Despite the chaos around her, Elena stands still, the quiet center in a storm of political unrest. She's not here to negotiate. She's here to show the galaxy that humanity has risen, and nothing will stop them from proving their strength. The assassin may have failed, but the Kretoks and their allies will not give up so easily. The coming days will be filled with more conflict, but Elena is ready for whatever challenges lie ahead. With a final glance at the chaos unfolding around her, Elena speaks, her voice calm and steady. This is only the beginning. You have seen what we are capable of. But the question is, can you accept humanity as an equal power in this galaxy? The council members exchange uneasy glances. They know the galaxy has just changed forever. The Galactic Council remains silent as Elena's words linger in the air. Her calm, unshakable presence contrasts with the chaos of the chamber. For the first time, the alien leaders are beginning to understand that humanity is not what they once thought. But Elena is not finished. She knows that words alone won't change the council's perception. To truly make them understand, she must show them what lies at the heart of humanity's strength. Standing tall before the council, Elena begins to explain the true source of humanity's rise. We may not have the most advanced technology or the most powerful weapons, she says, her voice steady. But what we do have is resilience. We come from a world called Earth, a death world, where life is a constant struggle. It is a world where survival is never guaranteed, where every day is a battle against nature, and yet, we rise. Elena, a voice calls to her from behind. It's one of her fellow officers, a fellow soldier who had been by her side throughout the mission. What now? They ask, their voice filled with a mixture of awe and uncertainty. Elena turns to face them, her expression resolute. Now, we show the galaxy what we're made of. This victory was just the first step. We've earned their respect, but we still have much to prove. We'll build alliances, we'll face enemies, and we will rise. Together. With that, Elena steps away from the observation deck and toward the next chapter in humanity's story. The galaxy is vast, and there are countless dangers out there, but humanity's potential is limitless. Their survival on Earth's dangerous, unforgiving world has given them the strength to overcome anything. As the camera pulls back, the stars twinkle in the distance. The fate of the galaxy is no longer in the hands of the established empires. Humanity has proven itself. And now, with Elena leading the charge, the galaxy must reckon with the unstoppable force of the human spirit. The story ends with a sense of hope, determination, and the promise of new adventures. The universe will never be the same again. Humanity's rise is only just beginning.
The scene opens with the vast expanse of space, a million stars twinkling in the distance. We zoom in on a colossal space station, the heart of the Galactic Council. Inside, the most powerful alien races from all corners of the galaxy have gathered for a pivotal meeting. The station hums with activity, its towering structures and advanced technology reflecting the status of the civilizations it represents. In this room, Earth is just a distant memory, a barely noticed speck on the galactic map. The Council, made up of representatives from dozens of different alien species, sits in a grand circular chamber, their attention focused on an encrypted message that just arrived from Earth. The room goes silent as the holographic projection flickers to life, showing a dark-haired human woman standing confidently in front of a backdrop of Earth. She is Dr. Elena Carr, Earth's representative, and her message is direct. Prepare for the unexpected. The council members exchange skeptical glances, their faces filled with disbelief. An alien leader from the Zilvian race, a species known for their razor-sharp intellect and technological supremacy, scoffs loudly. What could Earth, a barely civilized planet on the edge of a hostile galaxy, possibly have to offer us? He laughs, his voice dripping with condescension. Humans are nothing but primitive creatures struggling to survive on a death world. They're no threat to us. Other council members nod in agreement, their disdain for humanity clear. A primitive species with no advanced technology, one mutters, shaking his head. Why even bother listening to them? The meeting resumes as usual, the idea of humanity as a serious threat nothing more than a joke in the eyes of the galaxy's most powerful beings. But before the conversation can continue, the doors to the chamber suddenly slide open. Dr. Elena Carr walks in, her presence immediately commanding the room. Her vessel, sleek and futuristic, has docked on the station, and she enters without fanfare, just calm and quiet confidence. She is a stark contrast to the room full of towering, arrogant aliens. Her outfit is simple, yet elegant, and her demeanor exudes an aura of quiet power. The council members are momentarily taken aback by her presence, but they quickly regain their composure, settling into their seats with a mix of curiosity and continued skepticism. Elena's gaze sweeps the room, assessing each member. She's not intimidated by their power or their dismissive attitudes. As she steps forward, her voice cuts through the silence, steady and unwavering. I am not here for negotiations, she says, her words sharp and clear. I am here to show you the power of humanity. A stunned silence falls over the room. The statement is simple but filled with weight. The Zilvian leader, who had been mocking humanity just moments before, shifts uncomfortably in his seat. Elena stands there, her hands clasped behind her back, unfazed by the gazes of countless alien eyes scrutinizing her every move. For a brief moment, no one speaks. The council had expected a representative from Earth to beg for their place in the galaxy, to plead for assistance, but instead, they are faced with a woman who seems confident, even proud. The tension in the room builds as Elena stands tall, her eyes never leaving the council. She has made her point. But what could she possibly mean by showing them the power of humanity? The council, still skeptical, watches her closely. Some are eager to see if this is some sort of elaborate human trick, while others are simply too arrogant to believe anything she says could pose a real threat. Perhaps she will demonstrate some primitive technology, one of the council members thinks. Maybe they have developed something useful after all. But they are wrong. This is not about technology. It's not about weapons or ships. Dr. Elena Carr has something far more powerful to reveal, something the Galactic Council has never seen before. As she stands there, the chamber grows colder. The lights flicker once, then twice. And in that moment, the council begins to sense it. Something is wrong. Something different. Elena's eyes narrow slightly, and the room around her seems to hum with a strange energy. Elena doesn't need to say another word. The message has already been received. The Galactic Council has underestimated humanity, and that will soon prove to be their greatest mistake. As Elena stands there, her calm gaze sweeping over the stunned council members, she delivers her next words with quiet confidence. This is only the beginning. The gravity of her words hangs in the air, and the council members can't shake the feeling that something much more powerful is about to unfold. The atmosphere in the Galactic Council chamber is thick with tension. Elena's demonstration has already left the alien representatives on edge, unsure of what to make of her display of telekinetic powers and reality manipulation. They have never seen anything like it, and it's clear that their confidence in their own technological superiority is beginning to crack. But Elena is not finished yet. With a calm yet deliberate movement, Elena's expression changes. Her eyes narrow, and her focus sharpens. She reaches out with her mind, stretching it across the room until it locks onto the mind of the Zilvian Chair, the leader of the Galactic Council. The Zilvian Chair, a towering alien with metallic skin and deep, glowing eyes, watches Elena with suspicion, but his composure begins to waver as her presence invades his thoughts. He feels it first as a pressure, a subtle weight on his consciousness, and then the flood of memories begins. His mind is assaulted by vivid images of his homeworld's destruction, an event that still haunts him to this day. His people, the Zilvians, had once been a mighty civilization, but their homeworld was destroyed by a cataclysmic event, one that left scars both physical and emotional. Elena forces him to relive the moment of devastation, the screams of his people, the collapse of his cities, the horrors that led to the end of his race's golden age. The Zilvian Chair's face drains of color. His eyes widen in shock, and his knees buckle as he stumbles backward. His breath quickens, and he's unable to form words, his body shaking from the overwhelming flood of painful memories. The other members of the council stare, their eyes flicking from the chair to Elena, who stands motionless, her eyes still closed in concentration. She is completely in control, manipulating the very fabric of his thoughts with ease. The silence in the room is deafening. The Zilvian Chair gasps for air, his hands clutching his head, trying to escape the relentless onslaught of memories. But there is no escape. Elena has complete dominion over his mind, and for the first time in his life, the powerful leader of the Galactic Council is reduced to a trembling, powerless figure. Elena opens her eyes slowly, and the chair collapses to the floor, unable to handle the mental trauma. The room is still. No one dares to speak. The alien representatives, many of whom have seen advanced technologies beyond imagining, are stunned into silence. The realization is dawning on them, humanity's psionic abilities are not just extraordinary, they are far beyond anything they have ever encountered. With her voice soft but firm, Elena breaks the silence. This is what humanity is capable of, she says, her words reverberating in the room. We have the power to reshape minds, manipulate reality, and defend ourselves. We are not just a primitive species anymore. We have evolved, and you are witnessing the power of that evolution. The council members are speechless. They are accustomed to dealing with powerful weapons, advanced technology, and fleets of starships, but nothing has ever prepared them for this, nothing has ever made them feel so vulnerable. Elena's abilities are not based on technology or weapons. They are drawn from the raw power of the human mind. It is a force they cannot comprehend, and it is terrifying. As Elena stands there, her calm confidence in stark contrast to the chaos she just unleashed, the alien representatives begin to exchange glances. They are no longer laughing at humanity. They are no longer dismissing Earth's strength. They are beginning to understand that they have underestimated humans in the worst possible way. Elena's demonstration is a turning point. The Galactic Council now faces a new reality: humanity is not only capable of defending itself, but it has powers that even the most advanced alien species cannot match. The balance of power in the galaxy is shifting, and the Council realizes they have made a grave mistake by underestimating the humans. The stakes have just been raised, and the Council's confidence in their superiority begins to crack. Elena's message is clear: humanity is no longer weak. And they are ready to prove it. The shock of Elena's power has barely settled in, and the members of the Galactic Council are still reeling from the events that unfolded before them. The implications of what they've just witnessed are massive. A human has demonstrated abilities far beyond what even the most advanced alien species possess. The power to manipulate minds, to control reality itself, it's overwhelming. The galaxy, long ruled by the most sophisticated races, now faces a new and unpredictable force. But as the Council members begin to process this, not everyone is willing to accept the truth. As she speaks, a series of vivid flashbacks fills the room, painting a picture of humanity's brutal history. The footage shows human soldiers fighting in wars that seem impossible to win, struggling to survive against overwhelming odds. We see soldiers clinging to life in the ruins of destroyed cities, desperately trying to protect their comrades. Their faces are etched with the pain of loss, but also with determination. The sacrifice of their fallen friends and comrades is evident, and their willingness to keep fighting, no matter the cost, is what makes them resilient. Each battle they fight, each death they endure, only makes them stronger. Elena pauses for a moment, allowing the weight of the images to settle over the Council. The once dismissive alien leaders now have a deeper understanding of humanity's past. They can see the fire in the human spirit, a fire that refuses to be extinguished, no matter how dire the circumstances. For the first time, the Council begins to see humanity as more than just a primitive species. They see a people who have endured unimaginable hardships and yet emerged victorious time and time again. Elena's next words cut through the silence: we may have been the underdogs for centuries, but we are not weak. Every challenge we face only makes us stronger. When we are pushed to the edge, we don't break, we fight back. We've faced extinction more than once, but we always rise. We come out of the ashes, stronger and more determined than before. Her voice rises with passion, and the room feels the power of her words. The Council can no longer deny the undeniable truth: humanity is a force to be reckoned with. They may have been written off as a minor species, but now they are witnessing firsthand the indomitable spirit of a people who refuse to be conquered. Then, the leader of the Kretok Empire, enraged by what he's heard, steps forward. His eyes burn with fury as he glares at Elena. The Kretok are known for their pride and their violent nature, and the idea that a species as primitive as humanity could challenge their authority is too much for him to bear. You are nothing but insects, the Kretok leader roars. You will never stand against the might of the Kretok Empire. Elena stands her ground, unfazed. You are free to believe what you wish, she responds calmly. But actions speak louder than words. The Kretok leader, in a fit of rage, challenges Elena to a mental duel. He believes that his superior intellect and psionic strength will easily overpower a human, especially one who uses her powers so recklessly. But Elena doesn't flinch. She knows this challenge is not only for her but for all of humanity. She accepts without hesitation. "I accept your challenge," Elena says firmly. "Let's see whose mind is stronger." The council watches with bated breath as the tension between Elena and the Kretok leader reaches its peak. This isn't just about power. It's about the future of the galaxy. The fate of humanity, and the galaxy itself, will be decided in this moment. As the two opponents prepare to clash mentally, the room is filled with anticipation. The true power of humanity is about to be revealed, not just in their technology or their psionic abilities, but in their heart, their determination, and their willingness to stand up against impossible odds. Elena knows this duel is more than just a battle for survival, it's a battle for respect. And she is ready to prove that humanity has earned its place among the stars. The moment the Kretok leader steps forward, the air in the council chamber grows heavy with tension. A thick silence settles as Elena accepts the challenge. Without a word, the battle begins, and the atmosphere shifts. The room becomes a battlefield, not of physical weapons, but of mental might. At first, it's a subtle clash of wills. Elena and the Kretok leader lock eyes, and an invisible energy pulses between them. Slowly, their psychic abilities begin to take form, waves of light and raw power rip through the room, lighting up the chamber like a cosmic storm. Elena focuses all her energy, and her mind expands, pushing against the Kretok's defenses. The Kretok, a fierce and proud warrior, counters with his own strength, but Elena's will is stronger. The mental battle becomes a whirlwind of energy, with flashes of bright colors and blinding light colliding in the center of the room. The chamber trembles with the intensity of their psychic exchange, walls vibrating as if the very foundation of the station might collapse. The Kretok leader's thoughts are like a fortress, but Elena's mind is a relentless force, probing for cracks in his armor. But then, the battle takes a physical turn. Elena, sensing the shift in her opponent's concentration, uses her psionic abilities to move with lightning speed, her body becoming an extension of her mental strength. In a flash, she is no longer standing still. With a flick of her wrist, she deflects a brutal strike from the Kretok leader, using his own force against him. Her movements are graceful yet deadly, each step calculated, each attack a mental maneuver as much as a physical one. The two clash in close-quarters combat now, moving faster than the eye can follow. Elena's psionics allow her to anticipate every move the Kretok leader makes. She ducks under a powerful swing, her body twisting with incredible agility. With a focused thrust of her mind, she slams him against the wall, causing the entire chamber to shake. The Kretok leader stumbles but quickly recovers, his anger only growing. In the chaos of their battle, soldiers from both sides are caught in the crossfire, victims of the psychic waves and the intense energy exchanged in the chamber. Their screams of pain echo, a stark reminder of the high stakes. One by one, soldiers fall, their sacrifices a painful reminder of the brutal cost of war. As Elena fights, her mind flashes to her fallen comrades, especially Bonner, a young soldier who had been by her side throughout the mission. His face appears in her thoughts, his bright, hopeful eyes, his determination to protect humanity no matter the cost. Bonner had sacrificed himself in an earlier confrontation, throwing himself in front of an attack meant for Elena. His death had been brutal and tragic, and the memory of his sacrifice weighs heavily on her heart. She feels his loss acutely, the grief seeping into her very soul. But it is not just sorrow that fills her, it is rage, determination, and love for her comrades. Bonner's death was not in vain. His sacrifice fuels her resolve to defeat the Kretok leader and prove humanity's worth to the galaxy. Every time she lands a blow, every time she outmaneuvers the Kretok, she can almost hear his voice urging her to keep going, to never give up. The audience watching, both within the chamber and beyond, can feel the emotional intensity of the moment. Elena's fight is no longer just for her own survival or even for humanity's future, it's personal. It's about honoring the memory of those who have fallen, those who believed in this cause, and those who will never have the chance to see the victory they fought for. As the battle rages on, Elena's power continues to grow. Her mind sharpens, her connection to the fallen soldiers like an anchor. She pushes herself to the limit, determined to win this fight, not just for herself, but for all of humanity. The emotional stakes have never been higher. With each passing second, Elena becomes more than just a representative of Earth. She becomes a symbol of humanity's strength, resilience, and the unbreakable bond between those who fight for survival, no matter the cost. The Kretok leader struggles to keep up, his mind unable to withstand Elena's psychic onslaught. With a final burst of power, Elena delivers a crushing blow, mentally overwhelming him and sending him crashing to the floor. The room falls into silence, the tension breaking in an instant. But it's not just a victory over the Kretok, it's a victory for humanity, and for the fallen soldiers whose memory will live on in every victory they achieve. The battle may be over, but Elena's journey is far from finished. The galaxy now knows what humanity is capable of, and there is no turning back. The dust begins to settle in the aftermath of the dramatic battle. The council chamber is a wreck, damaged walls and shattered furniture are evidence of the fierce conflict. The once confident alien leaders are now visibly shaken, their arrogance shattered by the display of humanity's power. The Kretok leader, now defeated, is taken away, and the remaining factions are left to pick up the pieces. Outside, the galaxy begins to take notice. News of the battle spreads quickly across the stars, reaching distant planets and civilizations. The story of how humanity, once dismissed as weak and insignificant, rose to challenge the most powerful forces in the galaxy begins to make waves. The victory is more than just a battle won, it is a declaration. Humanity has arrived, and its influence cannot be ignored. Elena, standing in the midst of the wreckage, watches the distant stars outside the space station's observation deck. Her eyes are filled with determination. The Council may be in chaos, but it is clear that this is only the beginning of humanity's journey. She knows that there are many more challenges ahead, alien empires, ruthless factions, and galactic politics, but she is not afraid. Humanity's rise has just started. Her quiet confidence, the calmness in her stance, and the unwavering strength behind her words have done their job. The room is on edge. The stage is set. Elena Carr has just declared humanity's arrival on the galactic stage, and the universe is about to change forever. The scene opens in the vastness of space, where an immense, glittering space station floats among the stars. This is the Galactic Council's headquarters, the center of power for dozens of alien races that span the galaxy. Here, the most influential beings in the universe gather to discuss intergalactic matters. The walls are adorned with holographic displays, constantly shifting and changing, showing everything from star maps to the faces of dignitaries. The air is thick with the hum of advanced technology, and each race in the room represents a civilization far more advanced than humanity could ever hope to be. The council members, a diverse group of alien leaders, settle in for their routine session. Suddenly, the room quiets as a message from Earth appears on the main screen. It's encrypted, strange, and urgent. A few seconds later, the hologram flickers to life. A human woman stands alone in front of the camera, her face calm and collected. She is Dr. Elena Carr, Earth's representative. The message is short, but its impact is immediate. Prepare for the unexpected. A wave of confusion sweeps through the room. The members of the Galactic Council exchange skeptical glances, the alien leaders clearly unimpressed by Earth's sudden, cryptic message. One of them, a tall, reptilian species with shimmering scales, snorts in derision. Humans, he sneers, primitive creatures barely surviving on a death world. What could they possibly have to offer us? His words are thick with contempt. The other council members chuckle, dismissing the message as nothing more than a prank or the foolishness of an inferior species. The Zilvian representative, an alien known for their immense intellect and technological prowess, shakes his head. A dying race, he mutters. They are no match for the might of the Galactic Council. The laughter grows louder as the council members continue to mock humanity. As the ridicule echoes in the chamber, the council prepares to move on with their regular business. The fate of Earth is of little consequence in their grand designs. No one expects anything more than empty threats or meaningless gestures from this insignificant planet. But just as the meeting seems ready to continue, the doors to the chamber slide open. The members turn their heads, curiosity flickering in their eyes. A lone figure enters. It's Dr. Elena Carr, the same woman from the message. She steps into the room with an air of quiet confidence, her steps deliberate and calm. There is no urgency in her stride, no fear. She wears a simple yet elegant outfit, and despite her small stature, there is a certain power about her. She walks toward the center of the room without a second glance at the counselors, her eyes focused ahead. The silence that follows is palpable. The aliens, who had been laughing only moments ago, now fall silent. Elena stands before them, her posture poised and strong, but there is no sign of fear or hesitation. The Zilvian leader, who had mocked her earlier, furrows his brow. His species values intelligence and precision, but here stands a human, a creature they've dismissed as nothing more than an anomaly, who is exuding an aura they can't ignore. Elena waits a moment before speaking, and when she does, her voice is steady. "I am not here for negotiations," she says clearly, her words cutting through the tension in the room. "I am here to show you the power of humanity." The room goes still. The alien leaders, still skeptical, exchange confused glances. There's something unsettling about her presence, something they can't quite place. A silence stretches between them, as though the weight of her words is starting to settle in. The Zilvian leader opens his mouth, but no words come out. What could this human possibly mean by showing them the power of humanity? The Galactic Council, used to being the pinnacle of power, is now on edge. They had expected a weak, begging representative from Earth, but what they have before them is a woman who speaks with such certainty that it shakes their preconceived notions. The members of the Council, who have never once considered humanity as a real threat, begin to sense that perhaps they've misjudged the situation.